Alright, welcome to Stellarris Council Edition, because I'm poor and I can't afford a decent uh, computer to play this game on. So this is going to be a little different format from my usual videos. Usually I try to make it about 20-minute clips. Most of the games I play work very good for that. Stellarris, on the other hand, being a big strategy game, I think the clips are going to be much longer for doing kind of a let's play. As for my other games, Bioshock I kind of got bored with. Far Cry was constantly getting flagged because of the music in the game. And Darkest Dungeon, I went through a playthrough just to see how long it would actually take to get to the Darkest Dungeon and possibly beat the game. I think I was on like almost 60 weeks just venturing into the Darkest Dungeon. So who knows how long even to go through that. Each week was like an episode. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do that many. Might go back to that at some point, and might revisit Ark. I am running my own server with a bunch and in a cluster with some friends, so I don't have to worry about losing progress anymore. But for now, I wanted to check. I play this game a lot. I want to make a video maybe for some people that don't really know what it's about. Curious if they want to get into it. This isn't going to be like a tutorial video because I'm not very good. There's plenty of YouTubers out there that make way better tutorial videos than I do. It's just kind of maybe to get an idea of how the gameplay is and how to play it. So I'll go over a lot of the basic mechanics, but I'm not going to go in depth. If you want in-depth videos, I recommend A-Spec. It's probably one of my favorites. So we are going to start a new game. I am running most of the DLC. I think there's just a few that I haven't bought yet. As you can see, installed. I'm missing like, I think these 3 that just keep popping up that it's trying to tell me to buy. Ancient Relics, the Federations, and Necroids. I will get them at some point, but for now, I mean, whatever. So we are going to start a new game. I always create a new empire. I mean, unless you like made a bunch of empires and you want to play an existing one, I wouldn't play randomizing. Where's the fun in that? I think one of the main fun things about Stellarris, which makes the replayability of it so great, is creating your own empire. So the very first thing I do when I'm creating an empire is decide what kind of empire am I going for. So I'm going to quick go over to the Empire tab. And a huge shout out to whatever company modified the controls for this game. A lot of these games that are made for keyboard and mouse don't transfer very well to console. They often are very, very difficult to navigate. Stellarris, whatever company did that for them, they did a stellar job. It's freaking amazing. I love how this, it's pretty easy. I mean, obviously a lot of things would be faster, like scrolling through some of the buildings and stuff that you need to get to instead of having to go down through them all, but whatever. And, you know, obviously with the mouse, you can highlight over icons and it'll tell you what they are. You can't do that in the consoles. There's a lot of icons that sometimes I don't even know what they're doing or how it's affecting my empire. I have to, like, Google it. That can be kind of annoying. But anyway, so this is going to be kind of a rough idea about maybe if it's your first time getting in a game, a way to try it that will kind of streamline a lot of it. So what we're going to do here, there's a lot of different ethics you can choose from to basically decide your government. But we are going to go with what is called Gestalt consciousness, which is basically like a hive mind. And the reason for this is it eliminates the need of doing a lot of stuff in the game. You're not going to have to worry about any of the diplomacy stuff. Every empire is pretty much not going to like you, because not only are we going to be this hive mind type thing, but we are also going to be what is called the devouring swarm. which means you can't engage with diplomacy, you can't access the galactic market, has hunger on all their empires, and which basically means everybody else will hate you. Now, this might sound like, oh, well, this sounds like this is going to be tough. You know, every empire is going to hate you. Well, as long as you don't spend like the first, you know, beginning part of the game just dilly-dallying around, you know, you kind of want to get on the offensive pretty quickly. Once you've kind of built up a little bit of you know, your economy a little bit. But you should have no problem going after the empires. You know, you don't want to dilly-dally around for a couple hundred years, and the next thing you know, everybody else in the game is like united in the Federation against you. I mean, then things could get iffy. But most of the AI doesn't really get along too well with each other, so they might not even like join up against this horrible devouring swarm that's coming to kill them all. So we have one other civic pick here. Let's see. Administrative capacity, not really that big of a deal. Let's see, unemployed drones. Yeah, I don't plan on really having. Don't usually have a problem with unemployed people. Yeah, the unity isn't really that big of a deal. Let's see. Army damage, another thing, not really that important. Ships are far more important than armies. You know, because once you're going to conquer a system, you can always just, like, once your ships have secured the area, just take the time to build whatever army you need to fucking take down the planet. Naval capacity plus 15. Empire sprawl from props. I almost think that might be the best. Actually, no, I think we're going to go for the amenities. If I remember correctly, with the hive minds, you often have a big problem with the amenities. So we are going to take that. So that basically decides our government. Name and flag. I usually don't give two craps about this. I guess I kind of want to decide what kind of species are we going to go for here. Almost thinking like a plant. Any of these look... Oh, that guy looks creepy as hell. We don't want to... This guy definitely looks like something that's going to eat you. What is this? Oh, wow. That... Yeah, that is a bizarro world. Yeah, these all look horrifying. This looks like a cross between a plant and a spider. That's absolutely terrifying. The stuff of nightmares. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so we'll go plantoid. Species name. Actually, we can just go to the names list, and then we can just let it kind of auto-generate. Because if you're in the naming all your stuff... Oh, what do we have for hive mind names? That seems like robots. What do we got here? I can go with that. Let's see. So species name, we can just do randomize. Boy, it seems like it's giving us... It seems like you get a lot of the same stuff. Belmakaza? I mean, I want to be able to pronounce it. Lavis again. What's Lavis? Sidamadai? Sidamadin? Sure, why not? I can live with it. Traits. So we already have one trait. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. I almost always go intelligent. That's just such a great trait. And then I think what we're going to want is rapid breeders. And then maybe do non-adaptive. Repugnant. Oh, I'm going to lose the amenities that I just gained from the whatever. All right, yeah, we'll do non-adaptive. Because that's pretty easy to overcome. So there we go. It's our traits. Ruler, another thing I usually don't care about. Name, consciousness, legion, mind. It's just mind. I forget. The ruler is like rules forever. Wellspring. Boy, doesn't have a lot of ideas here. Let's do mind. That's kind of cool. Sex. Is there actually a difference in the sex here? It looks exactly the same. What do we got for color variants? Oh, how many are there? I kind of like that purple. Room. Ooh, look at that. That's creepy. Do we have anything with like a lot of plants? Go with the plant vibe here. And this stuff doesn't really matter. This is just cosmetics. There we go. Room. Hair. I can't modify the hairstyle. All right. So then, home world. Another thing I don't care about. Yep. We're gonna go for desert world. Yeah, I think we're gonna. These plants look like they grew up in a desert. We'll do that. Let's see. City appearance. This isn't that big of a deal. We'll just do plantoid. Origin. Life seeded. We don't want that. Was galactic doorstep. This is just kind of like a starting bonus. Start with a dormant gateway in your home. That sounds horribly stupid. Our hive gains many bonus from living on a planet with a tree of life. We'll provide new plants with their own sapling. Does not have... Oh, can't have devouring swarm. Well, we don't want to start in a Gia world. So I guess we're just going to go for 4 additional props, 2 additional districts. Alright, Empire. What else are we missing here? Okay, now we can just do a randomized name. Cidamus Horde. That sounds freaking scary. Okay. Color thing, I really don't care. It's another thing that, yeah, I just... It does seem like red and black is way too common, though. Let's go, all blue. All blue with whatever that weirdo symbol is. Sounds good. Ship appearance, we'll go for plantoids. Advisor voice. Let's see, what does the hive mind sound like? Okay, well that's freaking creepy. Alright. So we are ready to go. So, alright, we'll confirm. Yes, want to proceed. I'm going to do a medium. Large might give you problems on console. Galaxy shape, not that big of a deal. We'll do a spiral. AI empires. 6 sounds like fun. No advanced AI starts. That means that like one of the AIs will be really advanced. If you're good at the game, you know, probably fun. Not Fallen Empires, I do leave on there. That's fun. Marauder Empires, another one I shut off. That's another thing where maybe after you get really good at the game, you might want to have that on. But I find early game, I think I was doing I was playing around with like a kind of like a merchant's guild or something where basically I was just I was friendly trying to just do trade with everybody, and then Marauder base or whatever just spawned like in my empire, and then just proceeded to wipe me out. Where eventually I just quit the game because it was frustrating. Okay, we'll leave this stuff where it's at. Crisis strength. I don't know if you want that at 1. Does that make sure they're always in the game? Endgame crisis, you definitely want to happen because that is just one of the most fun things in the game. Ensign, yeah, we'll keep it at that. Skilling difficulty off, aggressive normal, Empire placement, advanced maneuvers no. These are another thing I just leave kind of at the defaults. Guaranteed habitable worlds, I always put that at 2. That means that you're guaranteed 2 worlds close to your spawning point that you can live at. Carbineers, normally I would have this on. These are just extra people you can trade with. We're going to turn them off because they won't trade with us anyway. And why let the AI have an advantage? Iron Man mode, that of course if you want achievements. But you can't save the game and like go back to saves. The game just saves when you quit. I actually always leave this on simply because I forget to save the game anyway. I always just save when I'm like done playing for the day. So to me, it's never really mattered. So yeah, we will start. Alright, so let's see here. That great hunger drove us forwards, even before the mind was capable of processing complex thoughts. That goes well with the name, the mind. We hunted, we fed, and we grew. As prey began to grow scarce, the ravenous yearning for flesh forced us to adapt. We used tools and devised new strategies. As we feasted, the surface of Panexel, whatever the fuck we named our planet, was nearly cleansed of biomass, but the mind eventually came to the horrifying conclusion that that planet was finite. When we had consumed everything on this world, there would be nothing left to sustain us. Forced to adapt once again, the mind carefully nursed the remaining biomass while new tools were invented. The atom was eventually split, and we developed spaceflight. With the discovery of FTL drives, the mind howled with triumph. Other planets and their biomass were now finally within reach. The hunt was on. All right, so we are out to feast. And then this is your main screen. So here we are in our starting system. These are just, there's our planet. Blah, blah, blah. So let's kind of go over what's on the screen here. So up at the top here are our main resources. So we got energy. It's basically the building block of everything, what powers everything. And it's also what is used to trade for anything. If we go into the market here, you can trade any resource for energy and trade energy for any resource. So it's kind of the basis of what you're trading with. Minerals. Minerals is basically what you need to build stuff on planets and stuff, and you need minerals to refine into other resources. So they're very important. Minerals, you generally want to get as many coming in as you can, I'd say immediately. Energy, you basically just kind of want to keep it in the plus. I find that you don't need to be bringing tons of energy because you don't really spend a lot of it in bulk. It's just used for maintenance. So as long as that's in the positive, even if it's just like 1 or 2, I always think that's fine. Food, of course, is food needed to sustain, I think, because we are hive mind. We actually eat more food than normal. Consumer goods. This is a resource that you don't have to worry about as a hive mind. Normally, this is kind of what keeps your pops happy. and it's stuff that they consume. So the more population you have, more consumer goods they use. But because we're just a one conscious, that's completely eliminated. Alloys. This is probably the most important resource in the game. This is what you need to build all your ships, and then plus other big construction things like star bases and other stuff like that. But for all your ships, your fleet, that's a requirement. So that you want, by mid game and stuff, you want to be getting a lot of alloys. This is just all the little extra resources that you can find throughout the game. The first three, the volatile modes, the exotic gases, and the rare crystals, those are pretty important, pretty much late early game, mid game, because you're going to need those to build more advanced ships and to build more advanced structures. The other four are all kind of late game things. I rarely even get to the point where I even use them. Influence. This is basically you need influence to do certain things, kind of to spread out and stuff like that. This number you really can't modify too much how much you have other than diplomatic relations, which we won't be having. So I'm pretty sure it'll stay pretty much at a +4 for us. But I don't think we need influence to go to wars, because we don't have to make claims on other empires as a hive mind. I think we can just go and take over. Unity, this is basically what unlocks traditions. I'll get into that when they start to unlock. You could do a rush to really boost this and unlock a lot of traditions early, which give you a lot of benefits, but you will just kind of, as you expand, just naturally generate more unity. I never really found it too much of a priority to really focus too much on that. Okay, science, which is broken up into physics, society, and engineering. This is probably the second most important resource, because you want to be, the higher these numbers are, the more technology, the more advanced your empire is going to be. You want to be advancing with technology faster than everybody else. So that's extremely important. Empire sprawl, that's just basically what it sounds like. The more systems and stuff you take over, the more that number increases. We have a max of 50. We're already at 35. That number, there's a lot of different ways that can go up. There's all kinds of research stuff you can do to bring that up. Buildings you can build, bring that up. Envoys. We have an envoy. I don't know why. I'm really not sure what we can even use an envoy for. They're primarily for a lot of diplomatic tasks. I'm surprised that as a high man we even have one. Population. Outside of your basic resources, this is probably one of the other key things. Because the more population you have, the more workers you essentially have for all your jobs. So that's another number that you want to boost as quickly as possible. Star bases, we're allowed to have 3. We can only have 1, or we have 1 of 3. You go over that number, start the upgrade of, or the maintenance of them starts to cost a lot more. Same with this Empire Sprawl. You start going over that number, your technologies will start costing a lot more, and slower technologies. So I want to be careful with that. Naval capacity, very similar to star bases. We have a max of 26. We have 3, because we only have 3 ships right now. Another number, it's not that big of a deal if you go a little bit over, especially if you're fighting a war. It's just going to cost you more energy and resources to maintain your fleet. And then diplomatic weight. This is mainly has to do with if you're involved in the galactic community in the Senate. Another number that is not going to mean anything to us. Okay, on the other side here, a bunch of windows. Government just basically shows us our type of government that we picked out. Underneath this is the contacts, any contacts we've made. I usually turn off the other, and for now, and we haven't made any contacts with anybody, so that's not that big of a deal. Situation log is basically if there's any new projects that come up. you know, just events that take place. Anomalies are things that your ships will find. And victory, we're already in second place. That's because the Fallen Empires in first probably has like 40,000 score points. That's not that big a deal unless you actually give a crap about winning the game. The game doesn't end at 2,500. That's just like when it declares victory. You can just keep playing. Technology. So this is where we have to select our research, which if you see at the bottom, we have those icons. I'll go down here. We have the icons down here. That's basically alerting us that we need to select research. We haven't done that yet. So we will do that right away. So let's see. For here, I'm going to go with faster research. Actually, I think I'm going to... Ooh, monthly Unity +2. That's kind of cool. And we also, that makes some of the edicts use energy instead of influence, which is good because it's easier to get energy than it is influence. And I'll show what edicts are in a little bit. Here... normally I would rush this because this would lead to robots. But I'm not entirely... I don't remember if hive minds use robots. I think I'm going to rush it regardless. Try to get to robots, because then we can build robots plus our main species. See, market, that's basically the trade thing. This, not something I use very often. It just shows that there's habitable worlds around you. I'm usually paying attention to that. Society. This is where when we start unlocking traditions, this is where they're found. Policies is a type of policies that we have. We are pretty much locked in with a lot of these. Aggressive, close, production. We can focus on manufacturing or extraction. I think we're going to keep it at balance for now. And purge allowed, so not much. And then edicts, we only have one. Fortify the border. Not worth spending all of our influence on. People, this is just our leaders that we have. Factions, I don't even think we're going to have factions because of the fact that we're a hive mind. And then our species. Because you can eventually, you might have slaves or robots would be another species in here. You might be able to change your species at some point. Fleets and ships. Basically shows our fleets. I really don't use this a whole lot. Ship designer. I know that there's a lot you can do with this in designing ships. I just kind of let the game pick the best technologies, auto-fit the ships. I know that's not the best way to do it, but it's very, very complicated. Galactic community, we're not really going to be using that. Federation, probably never. We're not going to be in the Federation. Not involved in any wars. Claims is something where you can make claims on other empires. That's how a normal like a normal race would gain territory. Is you would claim like systems in somebody else's area and then go to war with them, and then if you win the war, you gain the ones that you have claimed. But with us being a devouring swarm, we just take over their shit. And map modes is just a way to change the map mode. So that's basically the main screen. You want to zoom out. Very rarely do you really need to be in looking at, you know, the actual overall stuff here. We'll take a quick look at our galaxy here. Yeah, pretty big. We're way over in the corner. That's nice. So these resources here are highlighted because they're available for us to explore. So on the other side here, we have our planet. We can look at our planet. So we have an open building slot. Let's see, what do we have currently built? We have a hive core. Synaptic nodes, they turn. Energy and food into Unity. Okay. So that's what makes our Unity. We have research labs. We have an alloy foundry. Spawning pool. So this increases our pop growth. Hive warren. We have 2 hive warrens. And then we could build something. There's other stuff on here. Just a summary about things. We can gives you a lot of just basic information. Population. This is basically the jobs that everybody's doing. We have no armies and nothing corporate. I think for right now we are going to. Oh, we can't do anything because we don't have any. We don't have enough stuff. Well, we can actually maybe. Well, one of the things we want to start out right away with is we want to go into our shipyard and we want to build another science vessel. And I'm actually going to get the time going here. Then we're going to get our construction ship. We're going to have him start building stations to basically take advantage of these resources here. And then we will get our other science ship out exploring. Which is why we want a second one right away. We want to start exploring our neighboring area, and we want to find those 2 other habitable planets as quickly as possible. So I'm actually going to turn this up to the max speed. This is nice. You can just hit Y anytime to pause it if anything comes up. Other than that, I usually just leave it on the max speed. Okay. So I'll pause it here quick. So we got our other science ship. So first thing we got to do is we got to get a leader. We need a new leader because we don't have one. Let's see. This guy is good with materials, propulsion, spark of genius. Oh yeah, we want that. Research speed plus 10%. Oh, why can't I buy him? I don't have enough energy. Okay, that's a quick fix. Because what we are going to do is we're just going to quick sell all our food. We really don't need the food because we have a surplus coming in. So we can just get rid of that. And then go back, get our leader. I'm going to take this guy, but I don't know if I actually want him doing that ship. I might actually want him doing research because of that bonus. So let's see. This guy is plus 5 research. This guy is plus 15 towards biology. This guy's plus 15 to propulsion. I'm going to actually put him here. That way he gets a plus 10 for everything that he's researching for engineering. Engineering, I think, is by far probably the most important because that's what's going to unlock advanced ship types. So, all right, we'll put him there, and then we can take that extra guy and shove him in the science ship. And then we can get him off exploring. Oh, so it looks like there's one of the planets right there. So you can actually chain these. You can hit X instead of A, and I can actually chain for him to explore a bunch of systems here. Huh. Did we... Oh, we made a restart station. Okay, so we want to keep... Let's go after the minerals. So we're going to send it... What do we got here? I'm not going to read all these out. Wow, that voice is kind of weird. Where is the 2 For, oh, there it is. Go there. That's a way, instead of waiting for it to get to 200, I could just do them individually. They're only 100 a piece to build those stations, so I can start getting that +2 minerals. And as you can see, as we're... Oh, cool, he found some volatile motes. As you can see, as we're exploring these systems, we are finding the resources that are there. So we definitely want to get this system because it's got that volatile mote, which is one of these things, which are very rare. So even right now that we don't need them, it's good to stock up on them, because if we sell them, they're worth a shit ton of money. All right, yes, keep going. Awesome. Oh, always want to research those anomalies right away. Anomaly is just usually something strange that your science vessel found. You want to just automatically do the research on it and see what you get. Let's see, traditions. I generally go for discovery right away, because this is going to give us, just to adopt it, our research speed, our anomaly research speed is going to go by 20%. And then unlocking them all increases our overall research speed by 10%. That's just great. It's just a lot of benefits for technology. So we're going to take this right off the bat. And we're probably going to want another construction ship soon for expanding. But yeah, we're probably definitely going to want to go here first. Let me take a look at what we need for a colony ship. 500 food, 200 alloys. Okay, we got the alloys, and it won't be long on the food. Alright, that's not bad. Take a look at this planet here. 17 slots. Number generator, not really much for mining. Bunch of agriculture, though. Yeah, I think we... Okay, we already unlocked another tradition. These go pretty fast in the beginning. So let's see. We can either survey speed by 35%. Yeah, I think we want that. Additional research alternative is pretty good, too, but that plus 35% is going to just get us opening up this galaxy much, much faster. Surveying these planets quicker. We might even want to get another science ship going. Another thing with as a hive mind, you do want to start building up your fleet relatively early, because otherwise people will attack you. So let's see here. Well, let's take this guy. We're going to get him off exploring over here. Oop. Let's see, what will it take? We have to build a star base before we can colonize a planet. So you have to build a star base, which essentially expands that blue bubble. And then everything to colonize, or even just to get these resources on here, it has to be within our system. So it costs 37 influence. So it's very little. I think that's because we're a high mine, and 100 alloys. So yes, let's do that immediately. Get that going, and then we're going to build a colony ship right away. That way, as soon as we have this thing taken care of, we can colonize the planet. Let's see here. So we want to go back to our shipyard and build a colony ship. And let's see here. What? 75 per Corvette. I feel like I want to get that number up to 10 pretty quickly. So I'm going to build another ship right off the bat. Oh, we got our tradition. I'm going to pause it so I'm not getting interrupted while I look at these. Let's see. I think I want the extra research alternative, but what does this give me? Research station output increased by 10%. That's not that big of a deal right now because we only have one research station on our home world. You know, collecting. Or there's a couple I think on our home world, but I mean this snowballs much later. But this will give us an immediate benefit of when we pick new tech stuff, we'll have an extra one to choose from. Because unlike a lot of games like Civilization, stuff like that, if you played other strategy games that have like a very strict tech tree, this is very random kind of in what you get. But if you select certain ones, you tend to get more of that type. Has been at least kind of my understanding of it. But it's not very straightforward. So we can't even take advantage of that resource yet. That's why it's kind of gray. So we don't know how to take advantage of it. But we can get the energy. And then, yeah, I think we do want to build another science ship because I accidentally have this guy dicking around with an anomaly. It must be... I didn't look at it. It was probably a hard anomaly or a very hard. You actually, at the very beginning, probably want to skip over those till your scientists have leveled up. Otherwise, as you see here, I've been wasting a lot of time with him going after that anomaly instead of serving that world. So we can, you quickly want to start expanding. So let's see. Corvette build speed. Minerals from miners plus 20%. I actually think I'm going to go for this. Because going for things with a little ship icon is going to give me more stuff in that, and that's what's going to unlock the more advanced ships, which is what we really want to rush as being a hive mind. We want to get our offensive capabilities up and going quickly. Okay, I guess we're gonna go after this world. Just because we really don't have that much of a choice of where else to go. Go on my planet here. I am going to build another alloy foundry. Really want to start getting these alloys cranking out. Oh, and we got our tradition already. The first tree goes by really quickly. So let's see. What was this? Leader experience, leader level cap. Research had their upkeep reduced by 20%. I guess at this point it doesn't really matter. Oh. Okay, we are going to skip the anomalies for now. We can always go back to them. Yes. Okay, this is why every now and then you need to pause the game. Because otherwise... Alright, so we want to colonize this planet. Oh, I feel like I need to rename that. Looks like Pooper Prime. I'm going to call her Pooper Prime. There we go, Pooper Prime. Is on its way to be colonized. Okay, let's see here. Technology conceived. I'm gonna make another science ship. Ooh, what do we got here? Zero is a very, very rare resource. So it looks like it's something that we found somewhere. Over here? Yep, it's over there. So we definitely want to make sure we get that system. Which, of course, we will. There's another... Looks like there's another planet right there. Oh, we got some more research. Energy grid. Very good. So is this. Energy credits. Oh my god, stuff is all good. I'm going to do the energy credits. It's probably dumb, but whatever. Pop growth speed plus 10%. Yes, yes, we definitely want pop growth speed. Oh, all right, we're colonizing. Let's build some mining stations here. We can take advantage of that 6 and 2. Get those numbers going up. Oh, our science ship is ready. We need a leader for this guy. Okay, when it's a bunch of stuff that you don't know, I'm just going to go with the young. We'll go with the 14-year-old. 14, plenty enough. He's plenty old enough. Get out there. Okay, so let's see. We want to get... Let's get him, I guess, exploring down here. And we want to get this planet and build another colony ship again. Let's see. We need more alloys. We need about 25. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Okay. Just shipyard. And bam. Make me another colony ship. And we only have one to go here. One more, and then we will unlock that, which every time you fill up a tree, you get a bonus of, it's called an Ascension perk. They're very cool. Rare crystals. Awesome. We want those. Nope. We're going to ignore the anomalies for now. Actually, now that I got 3, we probably could be doing these anomalies.
Our construction is complete.
Ooh, we got another planet over here. That is very good. Alright, where do we want to go with you? We have nowhere to go with you. I guess we go this way. I want to get towards that planet anyway. Oh, I probably should have built, okay, we are going to start doing these anomalies. Alright, got the last one. So as you see, we got that little pop-up down at the bottom there. These other things are just popping up showing that we have anomalies and whatever. System surveyed, I just ignore them. So we can pick an Ascension perk. There's a lot of really cool ones in here that I love, especially things like Master Builders or Galactic Wonders, which allow you to build like Dyson Spheres and stuff like that. Hive Worlds, this will allow us to terraform planets in the Hive Worlds. Sounds awesome. A lot of these you can't unlock until you've picked a few others. So for what we have open right now, let's see. Rating, don't care about rating. Starbase influence cost -20. Claim influence cost -20. Well, like I said, we don't have to worry about claims. So that's kind of wasted. Okay, this is overall 10% across the board of research. And you get a chance for rare technologies. That's pretty good. Administrative cap, 20%. It can be good if you're having problems with your. But like I said, you can use buildings for that. Clear blocker, another thing. I feel it's wasted. But that mastery of nature that allows you to increase the maximum number of districts on a planet by 2, that's very good. More districts is just awesome. Let's see, monthly unity, pop amenity, gathering. We don't need a gathering ethics. See, edicts +2, that's really good. I think for now, though, I'm going to go with the research. I really want to be just kind of blowing out the research, really advancing with the tech.
Technology conceived.
So here, see, and then that's what most of those anomalies do. That little pop-up, like, oh, you found an additional this thing on this world. Oop, got another planet down there.
We have found an anomaly.
We will research it. All right, our colony ship is ready. We're going to get that going in here. I didn't even look at the planet to see how good it was. Just heck with it. Galamum. Let's just call it Galley. There we go. Much shorter. These gay long names. I don't need them. All right. Let's. I think what we want to do here is build another construction ship. That way we can have one kind of. That way we can kind of do a little better with expanding and getting these resources at the same time. So let's get over here and. Oh, red planet. So that means we can't. The red ones means they're uninhabitable for us.
Our construction is complete.
But not for robots if we get robots. What do we got over here? Oh, that's another red one. So it looks like we found the 2 kind of Goldilocks worlds. Happen to be in systems right next to us. Very good. We will start building those up. I think this might be a good place to break it. It looks like we're running at just about an hour here. So I don't know on average how long I'm going to do these. I'm not going to say, oh, I'm going to break it every hour. I guess it just depends on. I don't know. It just depends on how it works out. But this seems like a good breaking point. So we will continue on. I'm not going to be skipping ahead and stuff with this. So if this is boring, yeah, go fucking watch something else. But if you want to learn the game, see how it's played, there's the game. There's a lot of stuff comes at you. Like the early game here, we mainly just kind of want to explore. Things will really start getting spicy once we start. I mean, there's 6 other empires out here, plus the Fallen Empire, which won't attack us. They usually just stay to them, keep themselves as long as we leave them alone. But I mean, the galaxy isn't that huge, so we should be running into someone pretty quickly. That's going to get things a little spicy. The end game is always very spicy in this game because some crazy end game event happens. Occasionally, the mid game can get a little bit of a slog because usually by then the whole galaxy is kind of taken over and separated by the different factions. But with us being a hive mind, we're probably more than likely going to be constantly at war, so that will make that exciting. So yeah, that is where we are going to wrap it up for here. I'm going to do a quick save and quit to do a save on this. And we shall return in the next one.